Hey, Noble Ones. Today I'm checking out a pretty cool channel called Legal Mindset, and he explains a lot of things about, the lawyers and lawyer stuff that I don't understand, and statistically most of you. He has just posted an Ethan Klein legally cooked Kaceytron fast facts, and I've been following this ever since the massive lawsuit against, of course, Kaceytron, Frogan, particularly Frogan, because I can't stand her, and all the rest. Anyways, let's have a look. What he's going to explain to us is from an hour ago, so I won't watch the whole thing, so you guys can go and check it out. Let's have a look.
Kaceytron has settled with Ethan Klein in the copyright infringement lawsuit. We're getting that today on The Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney living in Asia, and this is the Fast Facts version, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So as you may or may not know, Kaceytron has been involved in a lawsuit, along with others, regarding copyright infringement related to the Hasan Piker content nuke. And this is, of course, with, as they call him, comic book supervillain Ethan Klein here of H3H3, who is using his infinite money printer to crush poor Kaceytron, Denims, and Frogan. And he has now been successful with Kaceytron, which is a
all three suck, by the way. Awful people.
bit of a surprise, because I thought it would be Frogan who settled first, given her silence, which is the smart thing to do when you're in a lawsuit. I thought that indicated that perhaps Frogan was going to settle first, but indeed it was Kaceytron. And as we're going to see, based on both what happened with Kaceytron and the way this clearly planned out statement that she read went down, and what Denims has to say about Frogan's likely future settlement, I can predict why Frogan has had such a hard time with this, because it may break her up with her great love, Hasan Piker. So let's get into it, and let's watch the actual Kaceytron apology. Of course, we're going to watch the version where Ethan Klein is watching that, so we, of course, get a little bit of his commentary in the beginning. But as you can see, she's sitting here. She's reading what is clearly, and you'll see based on the language, using words like adhere, using words that are legal terms, that this is clearly a legal statement that was given by the lawyers, that is agreed to by both parties as part of the settlement. So,
Man, the lawyers must have been like, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Ever so slightly. Nudge yourself a little bit out of what we have compiled for you here. Don't you dare. So, of course, the apology is false. This is quite clear. Still hilarious, though.
Important thing to remember is that this apology is part of the settlement. It is not just money alone. Let's listen up.
I don't want to see any negative. I don't want to see people being rude to her. I genuinely have forgiven her. I'm moving on, and it's water under the bridge. I don't want to see anybody being. I'm being dead serious. Let's not be nasty to her, guys. This is it. Okay, it's over. We won. That's it. We won, right? So let's just move on.
Sounds good.
Which is the smart tactic to take, because he's trying to encourage the others to settle as well and get them to read similar prepared statements.
Thank her. Thank you.
For infringing
I'm being dead serious. Please do not.
The lawsuit was not frivolous. When I said the lawsuit was frivolous and based on misogyny, it was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation, and retaliate against the Kleins.
Oh, you know what? I thought the apology is fake in the sense she doesn't mean it. She's being forced to do it. With that being said, what she's stating now is real. This is true. So at least we have an admission of reality, something she would have never said on her own.
This lawsuit has given me a greater understanding of copyright protection, people's copyrights, and the importance of protecting copyrights in the online content creation community. It is important for the entire content creation community to respect the intellectual property rights of other creators, and I will adhere to the lessons I've learned throughout this process going forward.
I don't think she would have used the word adhere if this was not a prepared legal statement. That's just my 2 cents there. That doesn't seem like natural language to me.
I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support.
Well, Mr. Lawyer, I think you're correct here. But then again, when it's me speaking, because I'm the word salad king, it might be that it's not a script. It just might be just because I like fancy words.
Financial or otherwise, from Hasan Piker.
Wait,
This receive any support.
Natural language to me.
Hold on a minute.
I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise, from Hasan Piker.
Unbelievable.
This is the big one, and this is a massive one, because Hasan Piker had implied that he was going to assist these ladies in their lawsuits. It would make sense. He's at the cornerstone of this. So it appears once again that Hasan, per usual, deceptive, misleading, hypocritical, kind of par for the course for Mr. Piker.
Hasan never even reached out to me privately to offer words of support. Speaking honestly, I found his indifference to my suffering hurtful, especially after he hinted he might help me behind the scenes. It felt like he wanted to receive credit from the public for him helping me without providing any. As to the GoFundMe money,
which is very, very typical. He wants to farm the clout. He wants to farm the attention. He wants to get the clicks and the views. He wants to make it a political thing. He wants to make it for some reason about Israel, which, you know, there's no mentions of Israel at all in the actual lawsuit itself. You know, this is something that is very, very typical for Mr. Piker.
Very true.
Diverting it from anything what it could be. And he has a failure to understand the underlying copyright law and how strong of a case that Ethan Klein has by denying that copyright even applies in the first place.
To the extent there are any remaining funds after I pay my attorney's fees, I have agreed to pay the remaining funds to the Kleins.
This is massive, and I'm going to show you guys that there are donors, including there's some famous people, including one person that's very much not going to be happy. All of those people that donated their money thinking that they hated Ethan Klein, they wanted to stop Ethan Klein, they wanted to
they're giving the money to Ethan Klein. Oh my gosh, this is a disaster.
Protect Kaceytron.
For them.
They now have to sit with the fact that they directly funded Ethan Klein. Not for all the money, because of course she's got to pay her lawyer's fees, but pretty much the money's going into Ethan Klein's pocket, a percentage of it. So if half of it goes, they 50% funded Ethan Klein, and they've got to sit with that now.
My God.
The funds will not go to anyone else, including Denims or Frogan, to defend their lawsuits. For the record, I have agreed to cooperate with the Kleins in their litigation against the H3 Snark mods for promoting my live stream to the.
Now, this is big, because this is the thing we really want to get is discovery against those Reddit mods, against those Snark mods, because the things we're going to see in there are going to open this up wide and may even bring in other people.
Extent that I am able. I will offer my support, including testifying under oath to everything I have just stated, to help their cause. I also want to take the opportunity to acknowledge other misconduct and bad behavior I have exhibited online. For example, weaponizing the death of Asmongold's mother was inexcusable.
Oh, finally. You see, that's the reason, guys. If you're out of the law, did you hear what she just said? Weaponizing the death of Asmongold's mother against him. See, the reason why I sympathize with Asmongold so much is because I'm like a mini Asmongold in terms of numbers, right? So we get similar hate. And the points of attack are in fact very similar. People weaponize the death of my mother from cancer because of politics against me. And she did the same. Why? Because of politics. Can you imagine that? But now she's talking about the indifference to her suffering. What about the indifference to the suffering of a grieving man who just lost his mother and now his father? So this is why people like me or Asmongold are so happy when we see this. It's not because we enjoy someone else's suffering or whatever, if you can even call it suffering at this point, but if someone else's misfortunes, let's put it this way, but because it's a matter of justice. And I do sincerely, by the way, hope that she learns from this, drops the toxicity and starts acting like a decent human being. And if she has a redemption arc, then good, great. At that point, I will change my mind completely. Be like, you know what? She's a different person now. She's a lovely person. She still has her politics, which are very different from mine. That's fine. It's her freedom and whatnot. But at least she's not acting like a toxic individual. And that's really all we're asking. So redemption arc, fine for everyone. In fact, I hope everyone changes, the people that do these kind of things. And when it comes to Ethan Klein, the kind of stuff that they did, not only they are incorrect, unlawful, and immoral when it comes to like literally coordinating with Redditors. So I'm so happy that Redditors are going to pay for this. I'm so happy because Reddit is disgusting. But anyways, they coordinated in order to take away views from him so that they would immediately react to what he's doing, saying nothing, doing this, during the entirety of the stream so that they would take away the money from potential viewers from him. That's not right. That's not what commentary is. Like, for instance, now I'm reacting to Legal Mindset. I will put a link in the description. I will put a link in the pinned comment. I will encourage people to watch it. And of course, I'm not going to watch the entire thing. That's just my own thing. Not every reactor has to do this. There are reactors that do choose to watch the entire thing. That's fine. It's up to anyone's style. But what I'm saying is, this is how it means to be decent, and these people are indecent. They tried to get child protection against Ethan so that him and his wife would lose their children. Like, they have no moral dignity.
I should know better because I have 3 disabled people that rely on me. Moving forward, I will do better. I also want to apologize to the crew of the H3 podcast, particularly AB and Olivia.
Yeah.
I apologize for calling them cowards for not quitting their jobs. That was a shameful attack on 2 people who deeply care about Palestine and Palestinian people. AB, along with his wife Lena, have done more than I have ever done for the Palestinian people, including raising over $100,000 in charity.
There you go.
I recognize that they have actually made Palestinian lives better, and my online antagonism and trolling has not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I apologize to Ethan and Gila personally. I have said extremely mean and cruel things about both of them.
Yep.
Particularly my misogynistic attacks against Gila that never should have been said. I also want to acknowledge the pervasive problem of anti-Semitism in leftist spaces. It should concern all of us.
Thanks,
I condemn
Hasan.
it and will not participate in it. To that end, I wish the clients success.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, there are people that criticize Israel, the IDF, and specific decisions when it comes to politics, foreign policy, military deployment, and all of that is absolutely fair. And it does not make you anti-Semitic. There are people, however, that go beyond and say the entirety of the Jewish race, then that's anti-Semitic, right? And it's important to to distinguish the two, because one thing that happens a lot is that you will criticize a government and they'll call you anti-Semitic for it. And that's incorrect, right? And we expect precision. You absolutely can do whatever you want when it comes to criticizing any government, including your own, because freedom of speech. But at the same time, this kind of people will tell you the split second, even with fun things. Like, I'll show them, look, I've got a Super Mario Bros. Original inbox, and they'll tell me, you talk about that while there is a genocide going on in Palestine? Like, people like this are not actually helping the Palestinian cause, are they? Even though they always care about the innocent Palestinians, never a single word when it's like Israeli children were dying. How about we care about all children? How about that one?
In enforcing TED Entertainment's copyright and protecting the legal rights of online content creators.
Clearly a legal statement,
Yes.
clearly something that was cooked up by the lawyers, which, once again, it doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't make it necessarily evil, but it definitely makes it clear that this is what's going to be required of Frogan and or Denims if they were to ever settle. They're going to need to read a similar statement, and that is probably something that they just can't handle. But another person who's going to have trouble handling it here, you see the donations that were given to Kaceytron. You have one Anissa Jama. That's right. Anissa dropping $1,000 straight into the pocket of Ethan Klein.
Seriously, Anissa, you could have bought so many games. Like, literally, I bought this one for about $100. It was a good steal considering its inbox. You could have had 10 of these. You could have had 10 of these instead of trying to help someone who is being awful just because she has the same politics as you. Maybe go find someone who is left-wing but is decent. Give them $1,000. Or maybe better, give the $1,000 to people who need it rather than giving money to streamers like that, who are rich already.
All of these donors now knowing, and people like Anissa, knowing their money is going right into Ethan Klein's pocket. Absolute cinema.
God.
You cannot make this stuff up. Now, I want to get into a couple other comments on this, because there were a couple really good pertinent comments. One was that Asmongold rejected Kaceytron's apology, making fun of his dead mother, saying apology not accepted. You did this because of a lawyer. And there's no doubt, if you actually look at the statement and you hear the statement, that is actually because of a lawyer. Because at the end of the day, they wouldn't have made such a strong statement with such strong language unless there was a lawyer involved.
Could you imagine instead if she had made a statement like that about Asmongold's mother without having been coerced by the law? Like, wouldn't that have... I think at that point, Asmongold would have accepted it. I do believe so, even though it's inexcusable what she has done. But I have a feeling he would have been like, you know, I didn't expect that. I'll give her credit. But he's not accepting it because she's been coerced. So you see how doing the right thing at the right time would have changed the planet. I myself I wouldn't have changed my position on her politics, which I think are awful, but I would have definitely changed my position on her character. I would have been like, you know what, I disagree with almost everything she says, but then again, this thing she did, which she apologized to Asmongold, she realized she did something wrong and she wasn't forced to do it for online backlash and whatnot. Yeah, that's the difference.
Absolutely true. There also was this reaction from XQC.
Opportunity to acknowledge other misconduct and bad behavior I have exhibited online. For example, weaponizing the death of...
Yo, I don't give a how big the lawsuit is. If somebody sues me for everything I have, I'm battling into bankruptcy not to do this shit. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Somebody sues me for fucking $7 billion and it's gonna bankrupt 10 generations after me. I'm not doing this shit. It's crazy.
The death of...
Here's the thing. It's very easy for XQC to talk tough and to be a big guy, big man when he does not have a lawsuit against him.
And also he doesn't have, I don't think XQC, I always struggle to understand him, by the way, he speaks too fast. I'm saying, does XQC have people who depend on him? Because if you have people who depend on you, then I'm going to disagree with you, man. If something like this happened to me, I guess I would read it. Just because if it impacts me, then I can be strong about it. Be like, I don't care. I'm going down with the whole thing. But if it affects generations, your children, no. At that point, you read the damn thing and you lose the lawsuit and that's it. You settle.
When you're bared down on this and the pressure's on your family, friends, your entire fortune, like you said, 10 generations, whatever back. I'm sorry. That's different. It's so easy to talk about this. It's easy to say that. And Kaceytron, all of them talk tough in the beginning as well, but you're not in it, bro. You don't even know what you're talking about. And this sort of attitude, having that sort of attitude is what's going to kill Denims. Denims probably has some similar attitude to XQC of I'm not going to do this. My ego, my pride. No. Sometimes you do have to humble yourself and say, hey, I was wrong. Ask for forgiveness. Come to a settlement. People are wrong. I'm wrong all the time. Other people are wrong all the time. It happens. And when you do something, you say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, and you try to come to a settlement. And that ends up being better than going through the full lawsuit and going and fighting it out. So to me, when I saw this statement by SQC, I thought very, very, very short-sighted and something that to me was very, very problematic. Another thing that was interesting, Asmongold vague posting that things could get worse for Kaceytron. Let's listen to this.
She doesn't know this, but this put her in a position for something that's going to happen in the future. I don't know if Ethan knows this. I think Ethan does know this, but I'm not going to say what it is because I want it to happen. I do. And I know if I say what it is, it'll lower the probability of it happening. I understand. I apologize for vague posting, but I promise you it will be worth it. Do you remember last time I was vague posting? Was that worth it? I think it was. Please have faith.
So
is someone else going to do another lawsuit? Goodness gracious.
I don't know what this is personally, right? But I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah, what is it?
My guess on this is that this is related to a future lawsuit. Now,
that's what I think.
I know why Asmongold is probably not saying it. And I won't say the parties, and I won't say who it is. But there is probably a future lawsuit cooking. I have a very good idea. There's two possibilities here. And if that's what we're talking about, then Legal Mindset's going to be eating good this year because this is going to be a spicy meatball of a lawsuit that is coming down the pike. But I don't want to ruin things. I don't want to get ahead. I don't want to talk about things before they're fully cooked up. But I think because you've admitted culpability there and because those statements are now something that you say, hey, I am liable for that, there can be an issue. And when we turn to Denim's statement, you also see more of the future predicting, especially in the Frogan settlement and in her fighting this. So I'm going to read her statement. It's very, very small text here, so I'll read it out to you. This apology, which I can only assume was somehow forced to extract a settlement, was painful to listen to. No, that was a settlement requirement, for sure, 100%. It's absurd and ironic that Ethan accuses Hasan of being a puppeteer while LARPing as a comic book villain in this way. It's normal as part of the settlement, by the way, dear. While it is unfortunate that Ethan appears to be able to exert control over her in this way, that's just the legal system.
Yeah.
I am happy that Kaceytron was given the opportunity to minimize the harm to her family, avoid the risk of losing her home, and move on from Ethan's lawsuit, which is, once again, all things that Denims is going to have pressure to her as well. So, is she not thinking about these things in her case? I want to make several things clear. My trial date is October 26, 2026, and I look forward to beating Ethan in court. She won't.
Really?
While Casey and likely Frogan have craved to Ethan Klein, which is a decision I doubt they made lightly, so once again, she's projecting Frogan as well. Settling this like this is not an option for me. It is an option because
she's going to be destroyed. If she doesn't settle, she will lose. And when she does, these streamers are extremely rich, but I don't know if you can recover from that.
Because it would set a precedent that endangers the financial security of any streamer that creates reaction content. If you create content that involves commenting on videos on Twitch or enjoy consuming reaction content, you should be on my side. If you don't believe me, please read ahead and let me convince you. No, not at all. No. The reason why this is distinct, and she is trying to hide the ball here, and she does it at the end, she tries to hide the ball at the end there, is that she is ignoring the fact that this was bad faith. And that there are clear comments about diverting revenue. This makes it distinct from other creators that might be watching small portions of content and not making those malicious statements.
Also, look at me. Like, I'm reacting to him right now, but I am providing a lot of commentary, which makes it transformative in nature. And at the same time, I'm encouraging my viewers to go and check out his channel so this can work as a form of promotion. Does she think that people are actually idiots? Is that her legal defense?
And not making a very, very clear intent to steal revenue from Ethan Klein or divert revenue from Ethan Klein.
Or say nothing.
So anyways, she comments that I watched and reacted to the highly anticipated content nuke shortly after it aired. Once again, almost no break time there. Just immediately watching it. That's what we call a substitute in fair use. Which is not a good thing. Not good for her. Make no mistake, my coverage more than doubled Ethan's video in length. Ethan's video spanned roughly 104 minutes. I spent 230 minutes reacting to, critiquing, and commenting his video and the content in it, which I paused 10 times. That means I added 120% in the runtime and commentary on average.
So even if she did in this instance, there are cases in which she literally does this as the video plays.
Pausing every 30 seconds to add 36 seconds of commentary. This commentary length is more than Asmongold, XQC, or any of the other streamers or YouTubers that watched it in full. As we know, Ethan decided not to sue Asmongold, XQC, or anyone other than the three of us. But he wouldn't sue them. They didn't intentionally try to deprive him of revenue. And you said that yourself. You said yourself you did. The notion is frivolous and a fabrication. No, she indeed said. Ethan claims he is pursuing his claim against me only because of some of the claim malicious intent on my part. There are two statements that Ethan falsely claims demonstrate my intent, along with his conspiracy theory about collusion with Reddit mods, none of whom I've ever communicated with. Well, we're going to see that. We're very, very much...
Why is she giving away her strategy anyway? Like, I don't understand. Even if her defense lawyer is now looking into these possible options to try, by saying all of this, she's helping the offense, the prosecutors, prepare. This is ridiculous. She's like an imbecile.
Going to see whether or not she actually collaborated with those Reddit mods. And I look forward to that discovery.
Yeah.
Next, let's talk about Frogan. So she was mentioned that she will possibly be settling. And I think the reason why she is not settling is, Frogan, my Habibi, you're going to have to break up with Hasan Piker. It's going to cause a lot of friction with Hasan because that statement is going to be very, very harsh against Hasan and is going to drive that wedge between the two of them and making it very, very clear that Hasan Piker did not help you. He did not support you. He did not do anything for you, just like with Kaceytron. And this particular thing is going to be difficult. And if he did help you, you're going to have to disclose that. You're going to have to disclose the messages with Hasan. That's the real thing she's not wanting to do. Ooh. Now, maybe she does have some messages with Hasan. Maybe there are some messages between Hasan and Frogan on how they're going to take down Ethan Klein or how they're going to divert revenue. Yeah. That might be why she has to hold up. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that between Frogi Yogi here and Mr. Hamas Piker. But, in conclusion... I am very much looking forward to 2026 Denims and that trial. That is going to be a trial for the ages to see that. I'm going to be here for it, covering it on the channel. Guys, what do you think in the comments below? Thank you so much.
Sorry, I ended up reacting to the whole thing because I actually enjoyed it. Give him a like. It was really good, but I'll wait a couple of days before I post it. I'll wait a little bit before I post it, okay? I'm not posting it today. So we'll give him a little space to garner his views first. Still, pretty good. Thank you, Legal Mindset. I don't know your name, but thank you. Have a good one.